Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It is Icon and I'm officially back to sit down with y'all and talk all things about my surgery experience in Istanbul, Turkey. So, once again, if you see me looking down at my phone, it's because I actually wrote another extensive list of all things that I want to talk about and answer all the questions that you guys have been leaving me in my comments on all social media platforms. And I just want to make sure I touch base on everything. If you hear any noises like that in the background, it's because I'm from New York City. I live in New York City, and foot traffic and noise outside is a thing. I'm cool with it, but I know that some people that probably are watching this video are not used to it, but that's a disclaimer, okay? So, are y'all ready? Y'all, this has been a extremely life-changing experience. If you're thinking about doing this, like, this is something not just like, oh my god, I want to get my nose job, but I mean, like, if this is something that has been deeply rooted from an insecurity for a lot of years, and it's something that you've been thinking about for a long time, and you want to do it and you have the means to do it, because this has changed my life in a way where I can't even explain. Like, me even talking about this on camera is super rare, because I don't even talk about this to anybody else, probably only like my best friend. But it is, not only is it a confidence booster because you feel more comfortable in your own skin, but it just changes the way you carry yourself, because it's like it's unexplainable. So I say that if you do want to do this, do it. You have my support, and if you don't even know me, do it, because it's your life, you know what I mean? So first things first, I want to talk about how this can be mentally on you, because not much people talk about this. So initially, of course, you're gonna have imposter syndrome, where you're like, oh my god, what did I do to myself? But it is perfectly normal. But just know that whoever you choose to do your surgery is literally doing a work of art. So make sure you choose your doctor correctly. I feel like I'm just rambling a little bit, but yeah. So first things first, I'm gonna talk about my doctor. I went to Dr. Emrah. He is based out of Istanbul, Turkey, and he operates through Clinic Hub. He is one of the ears, nose, and throat surgeons that operates in that organization, and his Instagram is Dr. Emrah Selig. So first things first, let's talk about booking the surgery. So I actually reached out to a Clinic Hub coordinator on November 6th. My birthday is November 23rd, so I was just really into, listen, I'm about to turn 24 years old. Like, I'm tired of feeling like this about myself. Let's do it. I'm not getting any younger. That's why I reached out in November. So on November 11th, Fahad, who was actually my Clinic Hub coordinator, he reached out back to me. Well, he already was reaching out back to me, but that's when he finally sent me back my reviews from both Dr. Yu and Dr. Emrah. He also sent another surgeon, but I'm only going to talk about Dr. Yu and Dr. Emrah because those were the two choices that I really was focused on. So after that, I basically looked at both the Photoshop composites that they both created on how they would design my nose, and I saw how their techniques were kind of different. I also went on Instagram and, you know, compare, of course. So I was quoted for Dr. Emrah for $3,500, and that was all inclusive. That includes everything besides my flight. So my hotel, my medication, my transportation from the hotel to the hospital, back to the hotel and to the airport, etc., like that, and my surgery. That was all a whole package, my blood work, everything. Same thing for Dr. Yu. I was quoted for $4,500. So initially I wanted to go with Dr. Yu. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go with Dr. Yu because some girl I watch on YouTube, her name is Maya. I'm pretty sure y'all know who she is, because that's who actually gave me the courage to finally be like, you know what, girl, go do you. So anyways, let's get back into the video. So initially I was gonna go with Dr. Yu, but then they told me that his availability was all the way in November versus Dr. Emrah was in April. I'm like, I'm not about to wait all the way to next November just to get teed up. So I'm like, nah, Fuck that shit. Let me go with Dr. Emrah. Like, I would have preferred to go with Dr. U, but now looking back, I'm like, I'm really glad I went to who I went to, because I feel like he worked my nose perfectly. I still like my mom and my dad, so I'm like, you did your thing, okay? So whatever. So the deposit was $300 US. I wired it to a domestic bank account, through my bank account to theirs, on November 14th. I'm not gonna put too much information on that because that is like confidential, whatever. So other expenses would be, you will need a Turkish visa to get inside the country. If you are vaccinated, you do not need a COVID test. I was vaccinated. So the visa's website, I will probably try to find it. Your coordinator is also going to send that to you, but I'll leave the link below in the comments or whatever, so that you can basically, if you are thinking about it, you will need to know that you are supposed to get a visa to enter the country. Disclaimer right there, okay? So another expense is an extra 50 Great British Pound, which is converts to $63 US if you want to get picked up from the IST airport instead of SAW. They want you to come through SAW because it's closer to them, because it's in Istanbul, Asia, versus IST is in Istanbul, Europe. I went to IST because it was $600 cheaper. Sorry, I will pay the extra $63 instead of $600, okay, to come get me from that airport. So the remaining balance, the extra money for the pickup, and the visa was purchased beforehand online, but the other stuff was paid in cash once I got to Turkey. But this is when I'll get there, okay? So before your surgery, once you send in your deposit, they will send you a packet of do's and don'ts before surgery. So this is basically no smoking, make sure that you're not pregnant, get a pregnancy test before you come, no heavy drinking after you have your surgery, no excess heat, no pool, beach, etc., like that, stuff like that. I'm not really gonna get into that because that's I'm not, okay? So just make sure that you are eating healthy, you're not smoking, you're taking a lot of water before you're going to get your surgery, because it helps with the stitches, it helps with your healing, and you don't want to go there and have excess swelling because you weren't listening. So the next thing is the process of when I got to Turkey. So I got to Turkey, when you go about 2 or 3 days before, your coordinator will ask you like, hey, or somebody else will reach out to you like, hey, what flight are you coming in, what time you're going to get in. You send that information, and they're going to tell you your driver is going to be holding the card saying such and such. I'm not going to say because I don't want a crazy person to know. So they'll have this. So I'm telling y'all, as soon as you get off the fucking plane, you are not alone, trust me. It's a flock of y'all. Like, it's a whole bunch of us there for a reason. Even if it's not going to your doctor, it's like, I shit you not, it was like hundreds of us outside waiting for our drivers. So on in my car, it was me and 3 other girls. 2 of them were getting surgery and 1 of them came with a companion. So we were cool the whole entire trip. Shout out to y'all. I don't know if I want to say y'all names once again, because I told you guys that I don't know if they want people to know if they have surgery or are comfortable with that, and I'm not gonna get sued for no nonsense. So when the driver picks you up morning, they smoke hella cigarettes out there, okay? So I come off the plane, I'm like, damn, like, we come through the airport, they is out the window with it. So I'm like, oh, this is some other shit. So we can't smoke with these motherfuckers out here chaining, whatever. Long story short, so the hotel I actually stayed in was the Radisson Blu Asia. That's the hotel they put us in. Initially, I was supposed to stay at the Sheraton, which is another popular hotel out there, but I'm glad I was at the Radisson Blu. I was perfectly fine, as you saw in my video. I loved my hotel room. It was clean. The staff was super, super friendly. The food was consistent every single morning. I had no issues. Excuse that. Okay, so basically after you get to the hotel now, your nurses are going to come and they're going to check, you know, if you have COVID. I came back negative. Perfect. So the next day, your coordinator is also going to reach out to you like, hey, B, My surgery was scheduled for the 6th. I actually got seen on the 6th. So my coordinator was like, hey, come to the lobby, come fill out this paperwork first. I filled out some of this paperwork. I go back upstairs. She basically writes me again like, hey, be at the lobby at 10 o'clock at nighttime, because at 10:15 they're going to take you to the hospital. It was actually later than that, honestly. I think I got to the hospital at 12 o'clock in the morning. So now at this point, this is where the nerves start kicking in. You're like, oh, shit's kind of happening real quick. So now you get there to the hospital. You start filling out all this paperwork. Like literally, some of it's in English, most of it is in Turkish. It is what it is. You know, at that moment, you're going through your mind like, if I don't sign this, I came out here for no reason. So, boop, 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 boom, boom, boom. Go ahead. So you sign off your stuff. They put you in your room. It was me and some other lady. Me and her, sorry, I'm trying to think. Yeah, they escorted us upstairs into our 2 separate hotel rooms. So after that, they come in, they take your blood work, make sure you're all set. You know, you can't eat after 10 o'clock anyway, so I was kind of hungry, but I'm like, it is what it is. And I barely could sleep because I was so anxious. So then my doctor basically came in at 7 o'clock in the morning. First, the nurses came and make sure I was good. My doctor came in literally like 20 minutes before surgery and was just like, hey, he didn't really speak that much English, but we had someone that was a translator. Oops, pause that. Before he even came in, a coordinator comes in, and that's when they come and they take your money from you. You sign a couple more forms with her. They give you your receipt, and basically they tell you, hey, the doctor's gonna come in about 15 minutes, and that's the person that's gonna translate for you anyways. So when they come back, now I'm pinned. Your doctor comes, he asks you what you want. Personally, I didn't show him a picture until the absolute end. I told him exactly what I wanted with my nose, and he delivered. He understood. He even told me, I'm not going to give you too much of a lift because then it will make you look like a pig. He was honest. I loved it. I didn't want too much of a curve anyways. So we were on the same page. He said, you don't have any pictures? I said, no, before he was leaving. He's like, are you sure? Basically, I pulled out a picture of Kenya Moore from the 90s. Because her nose is absolutely fucking perfect, and he in the 90s. So I showed him a picture really quickly. He was like, okay, cool, pretty much like what we was talking about already. So fast forward, he leaves now. So 10 minutes later, the nurses come in and they're like, you're first. I'm like, oh shit, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So now they tell you, hey, I'm gonna give you a sedative in the elevator to make sure that when you get down there, you're already relaxed. Child, they gave me that damn sedative. We in the elevator. By the time we hit the elevator, the operating room, I'm already in and out. I'm like, what's going on? So I'm sorry, I'm so animated. So I'm down there, boom, I'm down there. Literally, I didn't even get talked to. Like, you know how people are like, oh, the anesthesiologist told me this. I was already out. I was gone. By the time I woke up, y'all already saw the video. I was in motion. So that was pretty much the process of surgery. You stay another day, and the next morning they discharge you. You go back to the hotel, and then that's when your journey begins in the hotel room by yourself and having to clean your stuff and etc. And pretty much that is about it for your prostate surgery, besides the last day when they take out your a little bit of your stitches and take out the whatever. I didn't actually have those things. Then they tape it, and then you're on your way. So flying back with a cast. Oh, child. So I actually had to stop in the Netherlands. Y'all, I was so miserable. I just wanted to go home so bad. It was like, I'm so tired of being overseas, y'all. Like, I was over it. But flying back with the cast wasn't that bad. It was just because you have to have your mask on, but don't feel like people are going to be staring at you, because majority of people that were leaving Turkey either had their noses done, or men had their their ceiling was missing, so they had to put some you know what I mean? So next thing was, how much time do you need off of work? Take a month. I took 3 weeks off, And then I got to work and I called out that whole fucking week. But rightfully so, I had FMLA. Make sure that you can take a leave with Sedgwick, short-term leave, disability, something. Y'all don't just be taking y'all PTO for no reason. I was out on FMLA. So, yeah. I say a month because you're really miserable. Honestly, I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. Now, I think the last topics was rate the nurses. That's what someone told me in my DM. I love my post-op nurses. I don't know about anybody else, but they took care of me. Not necessarily talking about the ones in the hotel. They were like, whatever. They would come in, see your stitches, and like, oh, okay, you good, you straight, put this on. You're not like that, but you know, pretty much. But the ones in the hospital, shorty, I'm in pain. They come up in there, painkiller you up. Like, I'm talking about, Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Them painkillers was barely on shit when you was in the hotel. But you gotta take them because they aid in some type of way. Because it's better a little bit of painkiller than none at all. You know what I mean? But I think my nurses was nice. I didn't have any issues with them. I felt like they took very much good care of me. Whatever I needed extra, they came and brought it to me, no problem. There wasn't no 6-7 hour wait. It was like I will text them within 10 to 15 minutes. Somebody's bringing it to me. So I had no issues with the hotel staff or my nurses staff or my coordinators. Everybody was very professional. My doctor, I love my doctor. I'm gonna rate my doctor a 10 out of 10. I just like my face. I love my face. The amount of confidence I have gotten from my, like, I can't even explain it. I'm grateful. I don't even feel like I need to go get a revision, anything. Like, it has small imperfections, very small, and I don't feel like I will go get a round 2 because I feel like the small imperfections make it even look even more natural. It makes me look like, I don't know. I think I look 90s cute. I already wear my natural all the time, so I think this looks 90s cute. I love it. But that is all, y'all. I think that is all. Yeah, that is actually all that I have to talk about in this sit-down video with y'all. If you have any more questions, you feel free to DM me, write down in the comments, or reach out to me on other social media platforms. I'm going to respond because I, once again, wish I had did that for myself. I didn't, but it really wasn't that bad. You do not need a companion to go with you because honestly, you're going to be so irritable. You don't want people in your space. Sorry, I didn't want it. And if you're dealing with people telling you shouldn't, or like, you know, growing up in, of course, on an ethnic background, they're always going to tell you like, hey, that's, you know, it's very taboo in the Black community. Do you, y'all? I'm pretty sure our parents have things they want to change, especially our moms, things that they want to change about themselves, but they never had the courage to. Do you, okay? Like, I'm just going to make sure y'all know, do you. Because it's your life. If you got the money, go ahead and do you. But that's about it. Just, you know, just look at it. But thank you for tuning into my video. I will see you guys in the next one.